Hello bros and welcome to SFX0 Profile Production and next part Sakura Alien 2. So let's go here. So this might not be weird for there might be actually be totally normal at their home planet. So let's continue. Aloha rises from a chair then takes Hayori's hands in her own. Aloha's chest round and full despite her cozy winter sweater pushes up against Hiyori's. Aloha's eyes meanwhile are wide and all-encompassing. She is staring at Hiyori almost slavish away in admiration. I'm so happy to have finally found you. It's such a shock it was yet so fully sink in. I can feel the warmth of your body against mine, but it still does not feel real. This is truly incredible. I've canvassed the whole galaxy, moving between planet to planet, hoping for a sign of your whereabouts, but I was unable to find any information about your welfare. I thought I tried to be optimistic. I had begun to fear the worst. I was terrified that after my many years spent searching, I would have to return to my in disgrace with naught to show for my efforts. I feared I would never be reunited with you. And yet, here you are. Yes, here I am in the flesh. Maybe you knew me when I was small, but I don't really remember you. I don't remember anything about my brief 5 years spent on Myra before I was stolen away. My memory is full of holes, but, well, if we did know one another once when we were young, I guess I'm glad to make your acquaintance again. We did know one another, yes, albeit briefly. I am several years your senior, and I knew they'd been appointed as an agent for the Galactic Police Force when you were born. I had the honor of looking after you during several occasions when you were still a baby in your cradle. Oh, I see. Does that make us childhood friends then? No, not really. We were not friends being so very far apart in age, though I confess, regard you as a little sister. You used to behave very affectionately towards me. Hello smiles fondly, her fingers still linked with Hiyori's. You were forever following me around the palace as a young girl, asking all sorts of questions. We went for walks together in the palace gardens, and I even taught you how to read. Our days spent together were some of the happiest I know. I enjoyed my time by your side to the fullest, my princess. Her lower expression darkens, but it did not last. Good things never do. You were stolen when you were a little more than 5 years of age, and beneath my very nose, too. Beneath your nose? Your blinks? What do you mean by that? I was on guard duty the night you were whisked away. I ought to have been overseeing you to ensure you came to no harm, but I failed in my task. Your abduction was all my fault. I have blamed myself for this gross oversight for a long, long time. Try though I might be a professional, I've always been clumsy. I make the silliest of mistakes when it matters the most, which leads inevitably to chaos. I'm an utter fool. And it was even more foolish of me to fail to recognize you after meeting you upon this desolate, this small planet. Had I been more canny, surely I would have known you for my dear princess when first our eyes met. I could have returned you to Maya where you belong weeks ago. I wasted an inordinate amount of time. Low fingers tighten about yours, but that is in the past. I have ample opportunity to make up for that. You have to be reunited, my princess, and that is all that matters. Now that I know who you are and your identity has been confirmed, I can return you to your home planet without further delay. Would you return to Maya with me? She will say no. Your parents and your people have missed you awfully as have I. There is nothing I want more than to return you to your rightful place. What? Then you're going to take Hiyori away from us? That is the general idea, yes, though I must remind you that Her Highness is not really called Hiyori. She is a Maya princess, and Maya is where she belongs. She never would have stepped foot on this miserable ball of dirt in the first place. I'm not taking her from you, I'm simply restoring her to her rightful position. That's what you say, but it amounts to the same thing. Hiyori might be a princess, but she's still my friend, and I don't want to say goodbye to her, and I bet she doesn't either. What do you think, Hiyori? You don't want to leave, do you? You like staying here, you like staying here, right? Well, Hiyori frowns. Those are some difficult questions. I appreciate that Lo came here to find me, really, but I need some time to think about all of this. What is there to think about? You're going to stay here. I'm not sure if I have much of a choice in the matter, really. Hello wants me to return to Maya, and she might just have a point. The planet is my real home. I never really felt like I belonged here, but... Yuri frowns. I've had a lot of fun these last few months. First I met you, Ina, and we became friends, and Haru and I became even closer thanks to your company. You're both precious to me. I know if I left, I miss you a lot. Me too. I miss you already. Same here. I don't want to go either. Your giggles softly. You're both very sweet, and you're awfully precious to me too. I think it's inevitable that I have to leave this planet, but before that happens, I want to say goodbye to the both of you. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't. I want to give you... won't you give me some time to speak to my friends, hello? There's a lot I need to discuss with them, and I'd rather we be alone. I need a little while to get my bearings. Hello ponders Hero's proposal around his folder. She taps her fingers against the inside her forearm in thought her lips pursed before coming to an eventual conclusion. Very well then, if that's what you want, Your Highness, I have no choice but to obey. I shall grant you a few hours with your friends, at least to settle your affairs. I really cannot let you remain upon this planet for much longer than that, however. I am your humble servant, and I shall follow your orders to an extent, but I cannot let you dodge your responsibilities as Maya's princess. I would not be a good servant if I enabled you. I understand, and I agree with you. I will not try to run away. I know now that Maya is where I belong. It's my real home. I have no intentions of running. I'm glad to hear that. Though you were not raised as a princess, you have the grace and decorum befitting of one. You're most admirable. Now you may go, but please come to the university roof at 21 on the dot. I shall meet you there, and together we shall return to Maya together. I will make certain of that. With Alo's blessing secured, Hiyori, Ina, and I leave Alo's office and meander about the campus. The discovery about Hiyori's true origins was so shocking I am unable to speak about it. The topic rises to my tongue many times, but I always find myself swallowing it back down. I think Hiyori and Nina feel the same as I do, because the three of us find it impossible to broach the subject. Rather than discuss Hiyori's past or her plans for the future, we instead find ourselves wandering aimlessly. There's so much for us to talk about, I don't know where to begin. Time trickles by as it always does, and with every hour that passes, the time alone set for Hiyori farewell comes closer still. Hiyori and I might appear to the untrained eye like a group of friends hanging out, but I know better. Our walk about the campus is actually, in fact, a protected, unspoken goodbye. Eventually, after the sun has set, Hiyori suggests that we go to a astronomy club room. I think it might be nicer to see it. Be nice to see it again. That's what Hiyori says with a small smile, nothing more nor less, but unspoken words hang in the air like mist. I want to look at it once more before I leave. I humor Hiyori and the three of us make our way to the dilapidated old building where the less popular club rooms are. We walk through the familiar wooden hallways, then taking the stairs to the third floor. The stairs creak beneath my weight, and the banister seems to shudder beneath my fingertips. Not for the first time, I found myself wondering what would happen if these old warped floorboards were to give way beneath me. Would I break a bone after suffering in such a tumble? What about Ina and Hiyori? There'd be a pretty unfortunate situation all around, but if it did come to pass, perhaps Hiyori would be allowed to remain on Earth. Hello seems like a reasonable woman. She could hardly expect Hiyori to make the long journey back to Myra with a bunch of broken bones. There actually are two situations, I think. But technically, I think Hiyori could be allowed to stay on Earth if they actually appointed Alo as kind of a personal guardian for the time being. That's one conclusion I would say. They might have given me some time to come to terms with Hiyori's absence, but the stairs remained firm beneath me despite the creaking. Hiyori, Ina, and I reached a stormy club unmolested and let ourselves inside. The clubroom looks just the same as it always does. The floorboards are scuffed, the beige walls dingy, the old couch in the corner distinctly worse for wear. The posters taped the walls cover up some of the cracks and marks, but the age of this place is immediately apparent. The room is older than Hiyori, Ina, and I. I might even be older than the three of us put together. It seems its fair share of activity over the years, but I doubt it's ever borne witness to farewell half so tragic as I know this one will shape up to be. This place. Hiyori runs her fingers along the top of a blue couch and a strained smile on her face. It really does mean a lot to me. When I first came to this university, I felt adrift. I didn't have any friends at all, not until I joined this club. My seniors were all very nice to me. It made me feel like I belonged. The astronomy club wasn't the bustling hub of activity even back then, but there were a few more members than are now. We were like a family, at least until my senior graduated. A couple of other members were left behind, but they ended up quitting at the start of this year. They lost interest after the old club president left. I guess we weren't as close as I imagined. Felt abandoned, even considered leaving this club myself, but I knew I couldn't do that. I was the only remaining member. Without me, it would fold. I decided to step up to the plate and become the astronomy club's acting club leader. I scouted for club members from the new undergraduates, but couldn't find any takers despite my efforts. I was starting to lose faith. Here he looks at me. Until I met you. You joined the club really lifted my spirits. Might have seemed like a big deal. Might have seemed like a big deal to you, Haru, but I appreciated it. I really did. I felt like I could do anything without you by my side. It didn't matter that my club had only 2 members, that was still better than one. It was better than being alone. I thought more people would join if we partook in a lot of fun club activities and ensured that we enjoyed ourselves. And I was right. Ina arrived and now our club has 3 whole members. I know it doesn't sound like much, not when other clubs have dozens of members, but to me it really does matter. I've had so much fun in this room. First the old seniors and now with the pair of you. Without the astronomy club, I don't know what I would have done. I can't believe that the time has finally come for me to say goodbye to it all. I can't believe it either. I'll speak up once Hiyori has finished a sentimental reminiscence. Hiyori was talking for such a while, I feel almost like I've forgotten how to speak to myself. My voice feels weak from the lack of use and it wavers. I'm trying to remain strong, but it's hard to maintain my composure. I don't think it's quite hit me until now that this really is the end. Hiyori is going to leave. I had no idea you were an alien princess, Hiyori. That news really came out of the left field. Me neither. Hiyori laughs softly without humor. Of course I had a hunch that I was an ordinary human, but I never realized I was as extraordinary as this. Never did I either. I had no idea you were a fellow alien. I never would have guessed that you were Vesper. Have you heard about Maya's missing princess, Ina? I think everybody in Galaxy has. It was big news. I was only a child myself when it happened. I think I must have been 4 or 5 years old, but it was all my parents would talk of for a long time. My mates discussed it a lot too. Revi was particularly curious about the princess's fate. She has always enjoyed gruesome stories. That's made of mine. She was convinced that the princess had been sold off to a penal colony as a slave, or that she would be cut up and turned into space burgers. I don't think anybody could have guessed that the princess would be living on a small out-of-the-way planet on Earth. It appears Hiyori curiously arms linked behind her back. How long did you feel when you learned the truth, Hiyori? It must have been a huge shock. It was, very much so. I was so stunned when my parents told me the truth. I couldn't leave my bed for a week. It felt like everything I thought I know had fallen apart around me. I couldn't trust anything anymore, not my parents nor myself. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I felt like there was a stranger staring back at me. Does that sound weird? No, I can understand that. I felt a similar way when I first came to this planet, and I did so voluntarily. I was mentally prepared for it all, but there was still a huge culture shock. Must have been even worse for you. I'm so sorry, Hiyori, that you had to endure so much. It's alright. It isn't your fault, Ina. I feel a bit better now. I've had a chance to dwell on things. Though I'm afraid I didn't handle it the most mature way. Hiyori smiles at me, her eyes soft and gentle. I know you sent me a lot of messages during the last week, Harry. You even tried to visit me on a few occasions. You must have been so worried about me. I wanted to talk to you very much. I wanted to talk to Ina too, but I didn't feel like I could. I didn't know what to say. I'm sorry for shutting you out like that. As as friends, we should tell one another everything. I hope you're not too disappointed in me. No, I'm not. I can't blame you for acting the way you did. I didn't. I think you're being it pretty well, all things considered. If I learned I was actually an alien, I think I have a meltdown. Maybe I did have a meltdown for a little while, but I'm all better now. I'm a strong girl, and I can look after myself. I was able to pick myself up again eventually, and I know what I want to do, which is, I think I should. Think you should be. I think you should be guessed at, Haru. I might be an alien princess, but I'm still Hiyori. Nobody knows me better than you do. I think that I know what it is you decide, yeah, but I want to hear you say it with your own words. Alright, I'll be blunt then. I loved attending the university and I love spending time in the Stormy Club with you and Ina, but I can't say that I love this planet. Now that I know that Earth isn't my planet, I know I can't stay here. It would feel wrong, like I'd be going against my true nature. My parents have lied to my whole life about who I really am, that they aren't even my real parents. I want to meet my proper mother and father. I want to know where I come from and where I belong. I can't pass up this opportunity, not now Allah has given it to me. I don't know how else I get to Myra without her. I need to do this, there's nothing else I can do. Hiyori. I know this was what Hiyori wanted, but even so I find it hard to accept it. I don't want her to go. I miss her and I'm sure she'll miss me and Ina too. Will leaving Earth behind really make her happy? I'm not sure. But I hope for Hiyori's sake she finds contentment for this decision. I can't bear the thought of seeing her suffer. It seems like I'm not the only one either. Tears begin to prickle in Ina's eyes. She stares at Hiyori, one hand resting upon her shirt, and says between sniffles, Hiyori, oh Hiyori, I know that you want to go back, and I don't want to talk you out of this, but I I know this might sound selfish, but I will miss you tremendously. There are actually a few pictures left to go, and as such I actually gonna end it here and finish this off next time or something like that. I don't really know. There's depend a little about how the story goes next time, but that was all I had for Sakura Alien 2 this time then. Say like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.